You know, Chip is my great friend, and only a great friend would put you on the podium behind Lois DeBerry, Mike Turner, and Lincoln Davis. So, Chip, I owe you. I wanted to take just a minute and thank Chip and the rest of his team. You know, there are a ton of logistics that take place to get this group together, to get you all the credentials you need, to have the buses waiting, to have the meals ready. And they've been working on this for a year. And I'd like us all one more time to thank the staff and Chip and his team for the great job they've done so far. You know, I watched Mitt Romney speak the other night, and I also watched, as you all did, Clint Eastwood give his remarks. And I thought it would be appropriate to take just a minute. I invited Mr. Eastwood to attend the meeting this morning. He didn't come, but I placed a chair up here for him. And I would like to, he left off a few highlights of the president's last 3.5 years, and I'd like to just go over a few of those. Many of them have already been mentioned, but I'd like to go over them again, and feel free, Mr. Eastwood, to make any comments you'd like to make. The president passed health care reform. After 5 presidents had attempted to do that, and over a century of working on health care reform, the president, my president, got it done. President Obama passed a $787 billion stimulus package. He passed Wall Street reform. And Mr. Eastwood, you forgot to mention this one. He ended the war in Iraq. I'm sorry. You want to wear that? Well, it was in all the newspapers. You need to read it. He began the drawdown of the war in Afghanistan. He eliminated Osama bin Laden. You know, I watched the chairman of General Motors on 60 Minutes several weeks ago, and he was asked, did President Obama save General Motors? And this gentleman is a big Republican, and I kind of shuddered as the question was asked, and he hesitated for a moment, and he said, no, he did not. And I said, oh my gosh, he's not going to give him credit. And the president of General Motors said, President Obama saved the American automobile industry. He recapitalized the banks in our country. He repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He toppled Muammar Gaddafi. He reversed the Bush torture policies. He kicked the banks out of federal student loan programs and expanded Pell Grants. He created the race to the top. He boosted fuel efficiency standards. He coordinated the international response to the financial crisis. He increased support for veterans in America. He tightened the sanctions on Iran. He created conditions to begin closing the dirtiest power plants in the United States. He passed credit card reform. He eliminated the Catch-22 and pay equality laws. He protected 2 liberal seats on the United States Supreme Court, and he'll do that again in the next 4 years. He improved the food safety system. He achieved the New START Treaty. Were you not aware of that one either, Mr. Eastwood? He expanded national service. He expanded the Wilderness Act and watershed programs. He gave the FDA power to regulate tobacco. He pushed federal agencies to be green leaders. He passed the Fair Sentencing Act. He began the post 9/11 military build down. He let the space shuttle die and plan moon missions. He invested heavily in renewable technology, crafted next-generation school tests, cracked down on bad for-profit colleges, improved school nutrition, avoided scandal. You know, this is the first president in many terms that has not had a scandal that dominated his first 3 or 4 years in office. He recognized the dangers of carbon dioxide. We had a dinner night before last with Al Gore, and Al Gore is so excited about what this president is doing with CO2 emissions. He couldn't be happier with what's going on, and we will lose that if we don't win this race. He expanded stem cell research. You know, I could go on and on and on, Mr. Eastwood, but I thought I would just cover the highlights. Ladies and gentlemen, this race is the most important race, I believe, in our lifetimes. All of you are engaged. You've done everything that you could do up until now. And on this conference call that Chip and I had yesterday with the president, he challenged all of us to begin anew. Whatever you've done up to today, he appreciates, but we've got to redouble our efforts and do the same thing again over the next 70 or so days. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be an Obama delegate, and I'm proud to be a friend of Chip Forrester's. Thank you very much.